Hey, Team Happy and Fit. Thanks for being on today. I freaking love you. And if you are getting on late, you're just missing a party because we're talking about my first experiences in the bar and whatever other things we're talking about, names and kindergarten concerts. But happy Tuesday. I'm in Arizona. I'm visiting Mariah. Mariah is a coach. She's actually really good friends with Morgan Brill. Like they're like sisters. They started off and are success partners, but I feel like when that happens, you just turn into this friendship above anything. And that's totally what has happened. What was really cool was I started coaching, and then I sponsor Morgan, and then my person in the business and friend, Sarah Freed, signed up Mariah, and then we were like, oh my gosh, Morgan and Mariah need to meet. So two separate teams, right? Two separate downlines merging, and it's been just really fun. But Mariah just had her baby, and Bianca, and so I've been down here, and it's just been such a treat. I'll get into that a little bit later, but that is where I am. I'm heading back tomorrow, and I'm just really excited to chat with you tonight because I've been having so much fun in my business, and I know some of you are like, thank goodness it's May, or maybe you're feeling a little frustrated today, or maybe you didn't hit some goals or get into some groups or do some things that you wanted to do that you didn't do, and maybe you're struggling with some guilt or shame or not feeling enough and not feeling adequate. But we can talk about that because I just think that that is such a normal feeling, and I just want to be transparent with you that I've been there many times. And so I just love that you want to connect to the team and that you want to be here, like first and foremost. And what we're doing is we're navigating and working through these feelings that we feel because they're not real. We've been programmed to feel them and think them, right? So what I love so much about this journey is that we're able to create tools and create habits to work through it. And I just think like spending time with Mariah has been so much fun, like so much fun. And I was just thinking about our conversations, and our conversations have been about things like that. Mom guilt, just feeling inadequate, not feeling enough, comparison in this business, not being where we want to be. And we were just talking about it. And then like, I was just even thinking like, Mariah, I don't even know if my Instagram is even relatable to people, or like if it, and she looked at me and she's like, what are you even saying? Sometimes we see one thing and everybody in our life that's meant to be there see a completely another thing, right? Where it's like you might see yourself as inadequate, but the people who love you and lift you up in life are like, that is the last thing that I see, is these negative things you're thinking about yourself is not how I feel about you or see you. And so that is why this tribe is so valuable, is because it breathes light and love and joy into our path, and resilience and strength and overcoming. That just keeps breathing in our path when we keep linking arms with each other. So that's what I hope when you come to these calls, that that's what you get. And I hope more than anything is that you establish friendship in this journey, because I just can't even, it's just amazing to me where it's like people think all we are is fitness and nutrition or an MLM. But here I am in Arizona, not because it's a Beachbody event, not because it's a Beachbody thing, but because I wanted to be here with Mariah, and she wanted me to be here with her. And we've just been talking about life, having a blast. She probably wants to get rid of me. She's saying very nice things like she's gonna miss me, but like, I'm not sure if that's true. I'm just joking. She's like, shut up. Anyway, but I'm like, you really aren't tired of me? Like you guys should have seen me trying to make Shakeology today. It's only been 5 years and it was very comical, but it was a disaster, but it's fine. We're working through it. But this is so much more. Can you see that on this journey, we are putting so much strength in each other's path? The way we communicate, the way we talk, the way we want to see life, the way we value things. And we're going to have to really push through it. It's not going to be all of a sudden, you know, it's kind of like, oh, I've been seeing this on my Facebook and it's driving me absolutely nuts. People I used to work with and teach with, no joke, this is the post. Take 2 pills a day for 60 days and lose 30 pounds. Message so-and-so. And that has been, I literally look at that and I'm like, okay, so me being pregnant, me coming to you, hey, can I get those pills? What are you going to say? Do you care that I'm pregnant? Do you know what's in there? And are you going to still offer it because you're trying to run a business? where here I am pregnant, having whole foods, working on myself with some chocolate. Okay, Mariah doesn't do double stuffed or another poll. That's another poll, Mariah. She doesn't do double stuffed Oreos. I find it very concerning. She does the single stuff. It's fine. We're going to work on that a little bit later. And like, I don't know what I'm going to do about that situation. But where it's like losing that 30 pounds isn't actually changing the person. That is not going to do anything for that person other than create obsession, create inadequacy, and not create stability. Fact. What we do here requires hard work, pressing in, leaning in on the hard, facing our issues, facing our temptations, facing our struggles, and working through them. Am I right? Am I right that it's not just like, hey, you know what? Do this quick, easy thing, and you're going to lose 30 pounds. That is not the kind of mentorship I want to give someone. The kind of mentorship I want to give someone is saying, hey, sister, what do you find yourself struggling with in life right now? Where do you feel imbalanced in life right now? Where do you feel like your limitations are in life right now? Can anyone relate to this? Are you right there? And this is how we communicate. This is what we share on our page. That's the kind of stories we share, right? To each their own, you do you, boo. But I don't want anyone jumping on my train thinking I just want to lose weight and that's it. I want someone coming along with me being like, Julianne's going to take me somewhere. And where she's going to take me is a place of self-love, a place of confidence. It's going to be hard. I'm going to press in because she doesn't paint a perfect picture. She paints a real picture. And I know that I can do it by linking arms with her. It won't be lonely. It's not going to be easy. But there's something about it. She looks happy. She looks like she still struggles, but she's able to find solutions. That is what we offer. And I need to, like, we are so much more. When I see coaches quitting and things like that, I'm just like, they don't get it. Like, this journey is so much more. People either look at this like a credit card charge, or they look at it as a life transformation of lifestyle. That is how people view this. They're either going to look at it that way or this way. How do you view it? So if you truly view it as this lifestyle transformation, why in the heck are you beating yourself up so much about freaking things like Success Club, a Rise to Diamond group, losing your diamond, getting your diamond back? Like, why is your focus on inadequacy in those areas? Or, right? Like, am I right? Are you hearing me out on this? That this journey, like, yes, those are milestones, but don't you think you can give yourself a little bit more credit of like, I can figure this out. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not giving up. I'll get there. It's just taking me a little bit. I have to work through some things. Maybe I'm not being as transparent. Maybe I need to listen to Julianne a little bit more and just like think about how I can share my journey more. Instead of being like, I got my workout done, maybe I can really talk about how, wow, I've been really comparing myself. By the way, this is real. I've been comparing myself to myself. I look at my old pictures of pre-Beachbody, or not pre-Beachbody, pre-pregnancy Julianne, and I was like, I worked so freaking hard. I was so muscly, and I took myself for granted. That's what I say. And I'm like looking at it and being like, okay, Julianne, like you are doing your best. Like you are like doing this, this, and this. And I have to remind myself, but I find myself even comparing myself to myself. Or do you compare yourself to when you're like on fire in the business and then do you ever forget like how to invite? It's like you like know how to do it, but it's like it slipped your mind, right? It's just creating those habits again. I hope you're hearing me tonight. I hope you're hearing my heart tonight that you're on this path. Like we are on this path because it's a lifestyle. And if we continue to let boulders that aren't boulders, they're really like little stones, little Legos. You know, Legos are probably the most annoying thing to step on, right? So like we're letting these little Legos get in our way on this journey to complete transformation. but we let these little Legos turn into these freaking huge boulders. And then what we do is we back off, we stop being authentic, we stop working on ourselves, we don't pour into our journey anymore, and then we're desperate, and then we're focused on who's not doing what, and we're focused on everything falling apart. I'll never get there. Look at her Instagram, blah, 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 blah. Maybe that Lego is meant to be there so you can look at it in the face and be like, bring it on. Like, this is just part of the journey. You are meant to be here. If you are a newer coach on Happy and Fit, welcome to our team call. They're all different, but what you can expect on these Tuesdays is probably conviction, excitement, weird jokes, sarcasm, but also some motivation and best practices that either me or someone else is going to share. So we're so glad that you are here. We're starting a new month, as Brittany would say. It's gonna be May. And anyone, Justin Timberlake, anyone, was that good? Did that sound like him? Put in a good word for me. There we go. You guys know I want to be a rock star. Anyway, it's going to be a new month, and I just hope that as you go into this new month, you just take a deep breath and you go, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm on this path. I'm a part of this journey for more than a month. I'm in this journey for more than hitting a goal. I'm in this journey just to continue to learn and grow and prosper. I'm a part of this journey to empower, give back, and give value. I'm not looking to get anything. I'm looking to give, right? I'm going to give more of myself to self-care and self-love. I'm going to give my journey and share my voice so someone feels empowered. That's how I'm going to approach May. And maybe the more authentic I become, the more fun I have, the joy I find in this, I'll realize it'll be a lot easier to connect with the people I want to connect with. Mariah was just talking to someone. She signed up as a coach, and Mariah had a baby. So there was a lot happening in this moment. And this person tried Energize and I think she was probably skeptical before, and then was reading into everything, like feeling energized a little bit, right? How many of you have felt energized? That means it's working. So a Monster or a coffee or this or that is going to give you different effects because it's not plant-based. So something that's all natural, something that's whatever, the green tea in there is it's there, it's actually designed, it's formulated to help you with your workouts. Well, I also want to say it wants to help you crush life. Like, Energize is there to help you in life, like not just your workout, but just had this quote unquote terrible experience. She was so reactive. She canceled her coach account. She is like returning it, doing all this stuff without even like giving it a choice. And I said, Mariah, there are two types of people. There's the reactive, like dramatic, this is not going to work out for me. Or there's the people who are like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to ask more questions. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? There's just a difference. And Mariah looked at me, and because she's not desperate in her business at all, right? And she wants to work with the right people. She goes, I don't think that this person's meant to work with me. I don't think, because she was like trying to help her navigate through it, and this person just kept like not wanting to work through it. Does that make sense? And she just looked at me, she's like, I just don't even think this is like where my energy should go. And I went 100%, because I have been there too. I have been there so much. So this new month, I want you to go into it of like, where do I find joy in this? Why am I here? And how can I share this journey in that way? I want to go back to this community of, I would not be at this desk in this house here if it was not for Beachbody. Let that settle in for a second. It's a Tuesday. When did we book these tickets? A week and a half ago? Mariah, I don't even know. I'm coming. Well, I asked. I'm not like, I'm coming. But it's like, hey, would this be okay? She said yes. And I just think about the choice and the freedom in that. But I also think the friendship in that. Like what that means and what that represents. And it's because of this journey that is where we are. Mariah and I, if you know, I'm like, you would call me your older sister probably. Not like a grandma older sister though, right? Like a cool hip one. Okay. Right. Yeah. I'm the person who challenges her in life. We can butt heads for sure. Like we've had a lot of those moments and we were laughing about that today or yesterday. And it's just like, it's just so cool we have each other in that way where we butt heads. I think we're both eights and I think that's why, right? We're the crazy number. Sorry for any other eights. I think there's like 2 of you on this call. We butt heads, but just the growth we've been able to develop and the friendship we've been able to develop in the last 8 years. She's been to Milwaukee. I've been here multiple times. We've been all around the world together. And just to be here with her new baby, Bianca, go to her doctor's appointment today, just like be there. It's just like, I'm in awe of that. This is what this is. Do you know how many people in their life are lacking a community? And a lot of people who do have community have community that are complacent, stressed, overworked, burnt out, living paycheck to paycheck, like they're in the struggle bus or they're complaining and body bashing. I'm not saying that's all communities. Like maybe that's not the case for you outside of this. However, I want you guys to know that a lot of people clock into their job and that's the only socialization that they have for that day. And then they go home. They're exposed to people who are greatly unhappy, who are greatly unhealthy, and they're not on the path to where you want to go. And that is what makes this so freaking incredible when you immerse yourself in it. And I just wanted to reiterate that being in this 5 years, it still blows my mind. And it took time. It took patience. It took me showing up to calls. It took me going to live events. It took me trying to get to know people on this team. So I have been doing Instagram polls. Honestly, it's because I don't know if it's because we're sleep deprived over here or what, but we just have been laughing and like getting to know each other. I mean, we know each other really, really well, but just like asking silly questions. Eric and I do this too. And I just have to share with you what that's been doing for my Instagram. So I legitimately, someone is signing up right now, and it's all because of my Instagram poll today that had nothing to do with Beachbody, but everything to do with my personality. And this is where I want you to hear me on this. So I've been doing it every day. I probably do 4 a day. So I do 4 like poll questions, and then I might do 3 to 4 quiz questions about myself. Quiz questions are for me. Poll questions are for me to get to know someone. Does that make sense? You might want to write that down. This is how I've been doing this. And you might be catching on to this. So polls have been for me to get to know someone. Quiz questions, that's a new feature on Instagram. And I learned that from Ed Milet because I took his quiz and failed miserably. And I was like, what's this feature? That's cool. And then I was like, oh, Ed Milet is doing it. Maybe I should do it. And I have. And sometimes it takes me a second to think about what I want to talk about. And honestly, what I've been doing is I've been going back in my pictures. You know how you can scroll up on Instagram and your whole camera roll shows up? All of a sudden I get a spark of inspiration. So like if it's like Eric or Wyatt, I've been doing Wyatt ones, like how did Wyatt get his name? A lot of people didn't know that it was the rescue who named him. Wyatt did not know his name when we got him. It's the rescue had him for a little while, and they always give names to the rescues, and his was Wonder Boy Wyatt. That is why that's his Instagram poll, or his Instagram handle. We kept Wyatt because we thought it was so cute. We didn't name him that, and he didn't have tags. And so just like that, people are literally like, Julianne, I'm finding out so much about you. Or just how I met Eric. Some of you laughed really hard about this. I met him at a bar, or like the options I gave are so funny and what people are picking. I did one on my middle name. I did one on how I met Eric's parents. That was hilarious. I was definitely very intoxicated. I didn't write very, but I was. And I had this like ginormous blue hat on my head, and they always talk about it to this day. Do you feel like you know me more because of this? Like I can see you laughing. I can see your body posture. The point is, this is where it got me thinking. I hate surface level things. I hate it. I love to get to know people. Eric and I, if we're on a road trip, we do questions. This or that. Would you rather? Blah, blah, blah. Like all this stuff. We do that, and it's so fun and it's so crazy. And like sometimes we learn new things, or we like think of crazy things. And the more I thought about that, the more I was like, that's how I connect to my audience. Oh my gosh, you guys, so many people are participating on this and laughing and messaging me. It's been so much fun. And the person who's signing up today, guess what? She did the poll. So the poll is for me to get to know them. So the poll might be green grapes or red grapes. I think green grapes are the best. They're more crunchy. For those of you red grape people, you're weird. I thought of the toilet paper. Do you do over or under? I couldn't believe people do under. You guys are weirdos. And like, I was just like going, but anytime someone picked one that was mine, I did one on like, would you go on an Alaskan cruise or a tropical vacay? The Alaskan cruise people, like that is what I want to do so badly. And so the people who picked that, I was like, me too. Oh my gosh, like whatever. And then we start talking about it and we start going back and forth. Before I started hitting record on this call, I thought of, I was talking about my fake ID that I had for 20 minutes. And I literally had it for 20 minutes. Don't you want to know the story? Maybe for another day. I had it for 20 minutes, got it taken away. It was a great day. I probably should have gone home anyway, like I did. I walked, don't worry. Did you have a fake ID or not? So then the people who did, that's when I can send them a message and be like, oh my gosh, girl, I had mine for 20 minutes. Like, so funny, right? And then they're going to get to know my personality and kind of let down this barrier that they don't just see me working out. They don't just see my nutrition. Is this clicking for you guys? Android people, I don't know. Like, I cannot answer that question. I hope. Yes, it is. Okay, good. But I just started to realize, like, when I'm in a huge room of people, I am so quiet because I don't know how to communicate with people. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, what if they're looking at my story and looking at my journey and they're so afraid to communicate with me? So I'm letting down this barrier and it has been so fun and not complicated. I just did another one. What was my nickname? I could do that as a quiz. My nickname was Course Queen. I could like, and then I would make up 2 other ones. And so then the people who pick Course Queen, like, will laugh about it and I'll tell a quick story of why it was Course Queen. Does that make sense? So I've been just like, I couldn't believe this one. We made spaghetti and this is how I made it. You guys, I cooked. I know, like, what in the actual world is going on? Like, that's another poll I could do too, is like, who does the cooking in your house? You or someone else? That's another poll question I could do. Related, I just literally look around and I'm like, or look at a picture or get an idea. Mariah cooks her noodles, cooks all the stuffed spaghetti, and keeps it all separate. She keeps it all separate. So for me, I cooked everything and threw it all together and then served it. And she was like, I have never made spaghetti like this. And I was like, what? There's another way? And then we started laughing about it and talking about it. I was like, well, is it good? Like, are you gonna lie to me or what? Like, is it good? And then we just like started joking and then we kept going, poll question, like da-da-da. Like, so then we just kept doing that. See, separate, look. Turner, I don't understand you. Like, who, what, why? Like, I don't get it. And isn't it fun? So my inbox, this is what it's been like the last 5 days, you guys, 4 days. It's just been this like, oh my gosh, or like, they'll be like, me too, or they'll send stuff like, why do you call Eric Georgie? I said, what is my nickname for Eric? What do I call him? Babe, never, ever, ever. If you guys call your spouse babe, cool. I call him Bae. B-A-E, because it was a joke, because I was making fun of my 8th graders that were calling their bays. And then I started calling Eric Bay as a joke, and then it stuck, and I really do call him Bay now, which joke's on me, right? So I didn't put that option in there, but I call him Georgie. Someone literally messaged me, and they're like, why do you call Eric Georgie? And I go, I have no clue. I honestly have no idea. One day I just did it, and then it was probably a joke, and then it stuck. And then I think everything just starts as a joke and then whatever. And then they were like, that is so funny. And then we're just like conversing. And I just felt like this, like we're like, it's just like we're chatting back and forth. So for those of you who hate cold inviting, or I don't know how to connect with people, what if you start sharing your personality more? Polls are to get to know people. Questionnaires are for them to get to know me. And every single day I've been doing this. It takes, I mean, I literally like just sit around and think for a second. Like Mariah was like, I would rather get a candle than flowers. And I was like, I don't know why we're having these conversations. Like, this is literally like what we've been talking about. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would rather get candles than flowers. Laura knows this. Laura's like, every time I'm over and with you, like, you always like candles. Like, I'm like, I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed with candles. Then I was like, wait, I wonder if people aren't. And so then I did a poll of like flowers or candles. Some of you are nodding. You saw this, right? I literally just looked around her house and there was flowers and there was candles. And then the people who wrote candles, I was like, oh my gosh, me too. Like, what's your favorite kind? I did one today of like, what was the most nerve-wracking thing about me starting my journey? And this was a questionnaire. Sharing my workouts, sharing on social media, rude comments. The people who picked the certain things, I was like, that's what they're going to struggle with, I bet. Or like, that's what they like think. A lot of them thought it was social media. I said, actually, no, I wasn't really worried about that. And I said, and then I would message them and I'd be like, because I used it for accountability. That was my way of like talking about what I do. Does that make sense? And then the ones who picked like, you were afraid to show your workouts. And then I would message them and I was like, I was so terrified. I was so nervous, but then I worked through it and now I share it. And that's been a way I've been sharing like that part, but otherwise it's been doing that. I hope that this is like helpful for you guys. It was just honestly a best practice that happened on accident. One I just, before recording was, I was like, Mariah likes single stuffed Oreos. That is so weird. I wonder who else likes single stuffed. She's like, I don't like the middle part. I'm like, isn't that why they make Oreos? Like, is it, it's just like, I don't know. Like, so I'm going to go double stuffed or single stuffed. The double stuffed peeps are going to get a message from me and being like, literally, I did this poll because my friend likes single stuffed and we're going to joke about it and like talk about that. Does that make sense? It doesn't have to be overly complicated. As soon as you're done cooking your meal, do you wash the dishes right away or do you eat right away? Like, it's just like, I did one on polls, like, on a questionnaire, what do I hate the most about laundry? Washing it, folding it, putting it away. Folding it, hands down, the worst. And so I'm just interacting with people and they're seeing, it's like, what is something I will never have? A banana split, soda? No. It was something, no, not soda. Taco Bell and something. Banana split, because I got sick as a kid on banana split and I'll never have it again in my life. And so people are like, oh my gosh, why? And like, we were just like talking about it. So do you see how I'm literally interacting with people who are following me in such deep depths? Like, if I could go through all of my messages with you, and it's because I'm reaching out to people, even some of you coaches, I'll like send you something back because I'm literally just like creating more interaction with the people who are following me. And it's just letting down this guard. She's a real person. Like, she's this. She's like, we're connecting on this. Like, we have something in common on this. Is there anything? Oh yeah, that fake teeth thing. People were like, wait, you want fake teeth? I was like, hands down. Like, I have a lot of fake or like teeth nightmares. Like, and people are like, you want fake teeth? Like, so we were like laughing about it. Or what do I forget to do? Floss. I'm sorry, Caitlin and Nikki. I try so hard and I just forget every single time. And so I'm like writing this and other people are like, me too. Like, I do that too. So is there anything someone wants to share on this or comment on, or is this like an aha for you? I feel like it's such a simple best practice and it's been so much fun for me. So again, on my questionnaire, I take a picture. I just go through all my pictures and then it sparks of like what I'm going to quiz people on about myself. So something I don't like, sand. I hate sand, you guys. I hate it. Like, sand is the absolute worst thing. And some people didn't know that about me. And so then we like talk about it. So so I think I saw, like, we were at the beach with Wyatt. I love taking Wyatt to the beach and I'm willing to do it. But like, I'm not the type of person that just wants to go lay on the beach, if that makes sense. And I live in Cali, absolutely. So I've been doing this every day without fail. The poll option, quiz option. Do 2 to 3. See what it does. And then my biggest thing is do something about it. And then practice. If it's just coaches, practice sending them a message right away so you're in the habit of messaging people who are following you on Instagram. Does that make sense? Practice with the coaches who are taking your poll. Practice with your best friends that they said they're never going to join you. Practice with them, right? Practice with the people taking all of that. And I have to say, if I do a Beachbody poll or a Beachbody something, I might get 10 people. So not even, like it's maybe sometimes less. Doing it this way, everyone who's been watching my stories is participating, mainly. And it's because it has nothing to do with fitness and nutrition, and it has to do with getting to know each other. So I think that has been the fascinating thing. However, it has led to tons of conversations now over the last few days of what we do and what I do. Isn't that fascinating? It's because it let down the guard. They're getting to know me, and I'm like a friend. And it's been so much. Oh, Holly, 100%. And you know what's interesting? If you go look on my stories a little bit later, I have one, or maybe that's not now, maybe it's gone, about joining a group. I would say it was like 10 people like participated on that. The very next one answer had like hundreds. I can't even, like, it was just like crazy, where I was like, that's so interesting. Like the Beachbody Challenge group one compared to like a stuffed Oreo and what people wanted to do. However, me interacting with them was like so friendly. And then they're like, wow, this girl's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she's a real person. Like she's a part, like her posts are just like she is. And then I've been sending like videos and doing all that kind of stuff. Is there any Android user not getting access to this? Maybe it's restarting your app. I really don't know. So I would Google it probably. I just found that when I just talk about the mess in life, it gets so much more response. Totally. And Britt, maybe like that's something that you do on a poll too, of like, do you feel like you struggle with anxiety at night or in the morning or during the day? Like, just like it doesn't have to be anxiety, but like it could be like this or that. That was something that came to my head. Do you feel like you're most overwhelmed on like the middle of the week or the end of the weekend? Like if that's like how your tribe like wants to talk about it with that, and then you can talk more about whatever, if that makes sense. Or if you want to keep it lighthearted, like mine, where it's like, do you make your bed or no? I make my bed right away. And so the people who made their bed right away, I like sent them a message. And I was like, oh my gosh, me too, like blah, 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 right? And just thinking those things. Any other comments? Is this helpful? Is this like something you can commit to? Think about if you did it, like, it doesn't have to be every day. I have found that it has been more fun for me to send out messages to people doing it this way than trying to go find people to message. Does that make sense? So since that should be part of our daily thing, it's been the quote unquote easiest way to do it. I'm going to try this. I love it. And also make sure you have your settings. Oh, that's good. Yes. Make sure your settings are for your stories on Instagram, that you can send a message right away. So when I do the poll option or the quiz option, I can swipe, like, you know how you like pull up a little bit? There's an arrow, and I send a message right away from that Instagram story.
That's not what I meant.
Oh.
On, you know, like when you have your own story, or you're watching someone's story, like if I were to go to Jay's, you can send a message sent to that person from their story. A lot of people don't have that turned on, so they can't message you while watching their stories. They can't message you. So turn that on. If you want people to engage with you. Yeah, that's good. It's in the settings. Yeah. I would really love to see how this works out for you. And please don't, it could be something like I did, like romantic comedy, or wait, not romantic comedy, comedy or
what is a love movie? Can't think of the name of it, but I'm a comedy person. Chick flick, there we go. I will do chick flicks and things like that, but I probably actually like action and like death and like gory kind of stuff. Not like gory and like horror, like that scary type of thing, but like I like blood and guts and stuff. And Eric doesn't know what's wrong with me and thinks that I need to talk to someone. But you know, I was gonna keep it lighthearted. So it's just super chill. Like, just don't overcomplicate it. Like I don't know, leggings. Do you think leggings are pants? Yes or no? Like, if you really think leggings are pants, first of all, if you don't, you're dead to me. But if you do, like, you're my tribe, and I'm gonna send you a message and be like, you are my tribe. Oh my gosh, what are your favorite kind of leggings? This is so, I can already see some of you being like, I just want to do this now, or you probably are doing it, and it's making me proud, because it's like, that's something I can get behind. Because people need to see your personality. Dogs, cats, like, which one are you going to do? Right? I only did that because look at Brittany Burmeister's screen, and it makes me miss my little buddy Wyatt. Do you ever send a message to people and say you're weird? Or dead to me? Yeah, probably. I'll be like, what? No, you don't. Or like something like that, like lighthearted. Like, what? You're like, tell me more about this. Are you serious? But sometimes, or if someone picks an opposite one of what I would pick, I always tell the people who pick the one that I pick that's the one I pick. Did you follow along with that little train wreck? But the ones who didn't pick that I picked, I'll send them a message and be like, oh, I'm a green grape person, or like whatever, if that makes sense. Cool. I'm excited to hear about this. And remember, doing one day of a workout program won't get you results, but doing every day of a workout program will. So trying this for one day is not going to do anything. So if you can commit to it, to like doing it like a program, it's not that hard. Especially, I've already listed out 3 that I'm going to do tomorrow. So you can create a list for it. But if you're like, dang, like this actually makes me more excited to talk to more people, it just made me realize, like, I don't like surface level stuff. I like getting to know people, and maybe my following, they just need to see my guard down a little bit and see my humor. You guys know my humor. It's horrible and whatever, but it's like they're getting a taste of that, and then it's like a friendship, it's being built. I don't know. I just find it interesting. You can even do like mom poll questions of like, what would you do in this scenario? Or like homework before dinner or after dinner. And then your moms that are watching, they're going to tell you and then be like, hey, like, how is that routine? Like, are you finding it helpful? Right? So you can do that. Do you, like, I don't know, this is one I just thought of. Like, do you turn on your car and then put your seatbelt on, or do you put your seatbelt on and then turn your car on? I put my seatbelt on and then turn my car on. It's not like, it's just such a silly question. Exactly. You're thinking about it. Like, I don't know. I need to think about this. Right. But it's getting people to like, oh, like, I haven't thought about this. People have been messaging me being like, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. So that's what we want to have. How many quizzes are you doing today? So I think I do, like, since the quizzes is my personality, and again, I kind of stick to a theme. Sometimes I don't. But it's been fun to do one with like about Eric and our relationship. So I could do one tomorrow being like, how long did we date? How long were we engaged? How long have we been married? Like, I can just like do that, right? What has been something that's been hard in my life? A college rejection letter, this or that, like just kind of see. But I do probably 3 to 4. And I use the same picture that sparked the inspiration. And what I do, so for the picture, if you upload your picture on Instagram, here, I can show you guys real fast. So if I use this picture right here, this is what I do. I go to this button, this feature, you know what I'm talking about? And I click the highlighter, which is the second one, and I click the white, and then I hold it down, and then it makes it lighter. Did you see that? you're like, what? So it has to be the highlighter one. If you use the other one, it completely, hold on. I had something on my finger. This is not working. Hold on a second. You have to like hold it. Okay, because I'm showing you right now, everybody, it doesn't want to work, but it does. But I use the highlighter feature and it just holds it down and it does that. And then, so this is, I only use this one for a quiz feature. Then the quiz feature, I click here, quiz. And then if you click the color wheel up here, I try to keep it consistent. Are my nails so gnarly grody? Anyway, I use that one, and then I start writing. And I can do things like things I don't like, my favorite whatever, the scariest thing I've ever done. My biggest pet peeve, that was one I did, is people lying and being dishonest. That was a funny one because people like picked like opinionated people or whatever I wrote. And then what I do, I have to like write something. It hates me. And then whatever the answer is, you like can move it, and then I move it down here, and then I hit go. And that's what it looks like. If I'm doing a poll, I go to this feature again, the white. I hold it down, there we go, and it's completely white. Do you see that? There's no picture. Then I click it, and I do the poll. And what I do is I move it, and then I take the highlighter or whatever, and I make a pink thing like that. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. I love you. Wow. You're like mind blown. So that's what I've been doing. And again, it's been super fun. And so like today I've just been like, hey, this has been so fun chatting with you. Your Instagram is so inspiring. Have you ever considered doing what I do? That's exactly what I said to the person today. By the way, the person who's signing up, she's had a miscarriage. She said, you know, I have to tell you, your post today about like guilt and things like that, I have to be honest with you, I almost unfollowed you once. And I sent her a message and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you for telling me that, because I don't want people following me who are comparing themselves to me. That's not my message. My message is empowerment. And thank you for telling me that. You're not the only one to ever say that. And I just appreciate your vulnerability. And we totally connected. And I was just talking to him like, you need to do what I'm doing. And she's like, actually, like, could I hear more about it? And I looked at Mariah and I was like, Mariah, was that salesy? She's like, that was awesome. So many of us are so afraid. Like, what has changed your life in this? What has changed your life? And that's going to take me to the next point. We have 10 minutes, but like Morgan Brill, I think about you and I think about your journey of like what this nutrition and mindset of a healthy self-love body and mind, this journey has given you. Like that is your message to women. Right? I look at Kristen McNeese, like your whole journey of your pregnancies and what you battled through that, like that's your journey of like how fitness and nutrition in this community has helped you through that, right? And so like that's how you speak to people. Carrie, I freaking love watching you and Kente like dance and like you're just like doing this together, and it's like you can speak to other couples who want to do and live like that. Right? Like it's just like that ownership piece that makes all the difference. And just seeing that. This is going into my next thing is Trina last week really prompted this, and I was just like, wow, my mind is really blown about this of like, she's like, why do people want to work with you? First of all, qualify yourself enough to say people want to work with me. Because I care about people. Can you guys qualify yourself and stop putting on these bricks on your shoulders just because life might be hard that people won't want to join you? People don't join perfect people. People join relatable people who are working on being healthier and happier. They're not trying to stay stuck, right? There's something inspiring about that. So please remove these bricks off your chest and just like quit disqualifying yourself. Why do people want to work with you? I think people want to work with me because I can like get in minds. I can get inside your head, whatever little negative self-talk. I'm like Ant-Man. Oh my gosh, I just made an Avengers joke. What is happening in my life right now? I'm hanging out there way too much. So I could be like Ant-Man, where I like see and totally know like what is going on, and just giving you so many gut checks. Isn't that so true? Like I'll say things and you'll be like, how did she know that? How did she know to say that? Because I can read people, I can feel people, and I know people. I'm good at that. People want to join me because I'll call them out and love them massively. And I'm going to believe so hard in them. And I'm going to be so consistent for them. But I also think people like to join me because I'm funny. I'm just kidding. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do people want to join me? People want to join me because I didn't want to live broke. And I have this passion for showing women that making money is not a bad thing, and you can give your family more choices. That men don't get called bossy. Do you notice that? Men who are like, do this stuff and get it done, and our bosses and CEOs, like no one calls them bossy. And I want to show women that if you know what you want and know how you want to live, that you don't have to be bossy, that you can be the boss. Like that is, I like believe in that, where I'm like, I want to show women that like they don't need to feel less than. No man is questioning whether or not they should be like, they shouldn't be making money. I feel like men are wired to want to provide and do all those things. Why can't women feel okay with that and feel like in charge and be like, this is something I get too, where it's like, Chrissy Teigen, is that her name? Who's married to John Legend? There was something going around about like, John, how do you put up with Chrissy Teigen? Like, you know, like you can't like whatever. And she's like, you guys need to stop asking him that. He loves me for me. And I think about that with Eric and I. Eric is like a gentle giant, and he's just so kind and he's so loving. And I am a firecracker. Like you don't know what's about to come out of my mouth. I don't hold back. You should hear some of the things that I've said in front of his family, and like his dad is like spit out his water. Like they're very conservative, and I just kind of just let it flow. They appreciate me and love me. I've asked, and I'm like, is it cool? Like you guys still love me, right? No, I'm just kidding. But like Eric appreciates that about me. He loves that I'm confident. He loves that I know what I want, and I don't have to lessen myself around him in order for him to feel good about that. And he doesn't have to lessen or overcompensate for him to feel better about himself. Like we are so cool with like how we are and how we balance each other out. I want to show women that you can know what you want, still be a phenomenal wife, and still be a phenomenal mom, and still be a phenomenal whatever, and still do what you want and not sacrifice all of it. That's what women get when they work with me. I'm going somewhere. So what about you? What do you help people with? Do you help them stay consistent? Do you help them? Hey, Mariah, someone is here. Do you, what do you help them with? What do they get with working with you? I would love to see in the chat. I would love to see, like, I can believe so hard in women. I can check in with them and believe in them and show them that they can do this too. I give women more confidence in eating healthier. What I help women with is less shaming and body bashing. I help women overcome eating dysmorphia and body dysmorphia because I went through that, and I can help them through this. I help women create more balance in their life. I help women manage busy schedules. That's something that Kim and I talked about. Kim like built her entire business, grad school, being a mom of two, a wife, like all these things. And she's so good at working busy, right? Like that's what she's good at. And so she can help other busy women get it done. I help women realize they can do anything they set their mind to. Danielle, yes. And like even be more specific with that. Of like, I help women who have just had a few babies or like whatever, like still prioritize and get it done so they can feel better about themselves, right? Like it's just like even being that specific, right? I give them the tools. I love that. to love themselves and show them how. Like, I can connect you with someone that you, like, Riley, you're a personal development guru. Like, if there's anyone I can count on to post something positive, and would you guys agree with that? Doesn't Riley show up every single day in there about something about personal development because it clearly fills up her soul? Like, that is something that she is searching for and needing. That is the perfect thing you can connect women to, Riley, is like what personal development has done for you on this journey and why it matters to you as a mom, why it matters to you as a wife. And can you validate yourself that you know that that will help other women? Can you own that is something that is like, why are you still here? This journey gave you that tool and you ran with it. And so you can mentor women with that. I can mentor women with mindset. I can mentor women on how to plug into personal development when they feel like life is falling apart, that they can still make it a priority, because I feel like you do that, right? Own that. That's how you mentor women. We are more than fitness and nutrition and Beachbody, my friends. We are here to give tools for so many things. And I hope this makes you so excited. And I have to tell you, this is something I've also been talking about in my stories. I've been talking about in my posts. I will mentor you on living out your potential. I will show you how to do this. I will show you how to figure this out. I will mentor you on that. Can you guys own that you can mentor people on that because you're on your journey? Now, do I have it all figured out? Do I still have some scarcity? Do I still have comparison? Do I still get jealous? Yeah. But I'm a lot farther along in this the last 5 years, right, than I was 5 years ago. I've got more under my belt, more in my heart, and more in my head that has gotten me through a whole heck of a lot. And can you realize that the start stops most people, and most people are way farther than where you are right now? Not because they can never get there, but because they didn't have the tools, community, and you to get them there. That you've been here, even if you've been here for a month, that something has transformed in you already. A fire has been lit in you already. And can you own being a mentor in that? Because you massively care about working on yourself and helping other people? Hell yeah. Right, people by people. So I asked a question in our leadership page in Team Rockstar Fit, and my question was this, and we'll end on this. We have a couple minutes. What are some characteristics of your runners and successful coaches? I asked this to some of the top coaches in Team Rockstar Fit. And I want you to hear their answers, because I started to realize my top coaches don't need me to see if they get their workout done. The coaches who've built income in this, they don't need me to check in with them and see if they've done a vital behavior. And I want this to click with you. This is what some coaches said. They're action-oriented, solution-seeking, excited about what they are doing, and walking the walk. Meaning this coach doesn't need to check in with them about that, any of those things. Another coach said, this is a new diamond, showing up every day, loves the products, doers and action takers. Another coach said, coachable, motivated, don't let setbacks derail them. They're problem solvers, they're consistent, they ask questions, they show up on team calls, engaged in the team page. Another coach said, engaged, coachable, consistent, and product of the products. You'd think I'd be rereading the same answer. Answer seekers, take action on ideas, product of the product. Has made the choice that this is their path, shows up on the team page and in calls, coachable, belief in team and company, committed, creative, and collaborative, sharing their ideas, show up on team calls, including outside of our team page. Personal development is a priority to them, and they're coachable. Another coach said, I said, what do you not have to teach coaches, is what I said, a follow-up question. And someone said, I do not have to teach them on how to live this lifestyle. They are already doing it, prioritizing workouts, nutrition, empowering others, etc. Because they are already doing it. They don't feel like they have to sell. They know they will always be doing this, so rejection does not hinder their progress. They know they will always be doing this, so rejection does not hinder their progress. Another coach said, they're coachable, they rise to the challenge, they're competitive to agree, they're action-oriented, they show up consistently for team calls and trainings, they're goal-oriented, consistent, they're setting, achieving, and resetting goals, they have drive and ambition, they're solution-oriented. And then another coach said, for your follow-up question of what I don't have to do, I don't have to worry about challenging them. They flourish with a challenge. I don't have to worry about running hard and setting clear expectations on what this business builder produces. They thrive on that and are inspired to run too. I don't ever have to worry about them showing up every day to work their business despite life happening. Are some of those some gut checks? Some of the top coaches, I asked them, what are your top coaches doing? All of my top coaches that I have been there for, that I don't need to hold their hand, are just doing it. The people who are earning the most are just doing it. They're not any different than you. They're not more special. We're all qualified. They just decided to qualify themselves and not let some BS stuff get in their way. I need to know more. I need to wait. I'm this, I'm that, I need blah, 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 blah. They don't even go there. They just get it done no matter what. They don't think about it. They just do it. I'm going to hit end.